So, I wanted to talk to everybody a little bit about what I've been going through as far as work and things that have been going on in my personal life. Anyway, so I'm an artist. I'm a full-time artist. I have deadlines to meet. I have a lot of work to get done. So to keep up with this, and I also suffer from attention deficit disorder, ADD. So, and it's undiagnosed. Like as an adult, it's really hard to get diagnosed with attention deficit disorder because the medical community seem to think that that only happens to teens and kids and stuff like that, which is complete bullshit. So to deal with it, I started doing Kratom. And I got to tell you, like it completely worked. Like it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It helped me focus. It gave me energy. Now the problem. Now, well, I did a lot of investigating with it first. I mean, I checked out. I want to make sure that it wasn't addictive, and I found out like it is. Like it has a slight addiction to it, and the withdrawals are somewhat like smoking cigarettes or drinking coffee or something like that. And as an ex-smoker, I can tell you, like, nicotine withdrawals suck, but they're not life-threatening or anything like that. Now, what I didn't know was that that's in small doses. Doing Kratom in small doses and then quitting is like nicotine and coffee withdrawals. It's not caffeine withdrawals. Let's call it caffeine withdrawals. But when you're an idiot and you abuse it, like somebody did, because you want to keep up with the work that's coming in, and then you start slacking off, and you're like, well, I don't need it so much anymore, and the withdrawals hit you, it's pretty freaking serious. So let me tell you what happened. So work was coming in. I was trying to keep up with it. There's no such word as failure for me as far as like getting a job done. If there's a job to get done, I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna do it any way I can. So to keep up with the work, I started doing Kratom. When the work got heavy, I started doing Kratom heavy. Now, a light user, well, I don't want to use the word user because that sounds so scummy, but when like an average Kratom user, I guess, fuck it, we'll use user, is like maybe 4.5 grams a day to maybe just under 15 grams a day, which will be 3 teaspoons a day, I guess. And that's usually good. Like you should probably stick to something like that. Don't be stupid and do 45 to 60 grams a day like somebody did. Yeah, this guy. Yeah. So when I slacked off because I didn't need it so much anymore, let me put it this way, I've never had a panic attack before in my life, and I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it was a heart thing because heart trouble does run in my family. My chest puckered up, tightened up, like it was like I didn't know what it was. It was above my heart. I didn't think it was my heart. And then I had this overwhelming feeling of doom and started shaking, and then the next couple of days I was on the couch, like just having panic attack after panic attack. I started, at first I thought it was heart problems. I made a fucking appointment with my doctor. Then I started thinking, I wonder if it's the Kratom, because you don't want to think that because it's such a useful tool. But I had to think that it could be that. And then once I did some investigating on it, like went ahead and Googled it, it turned out like all the symptoms I was having was for a heavy Kratom user. And it is nothing like quitting smoking or drinking coffee. That's bullshit, right? When you're up in the upper echelons of 45 to 60 grams, it becomes a real problem. So I made an appointment with my doctor. Kratom's not illegal, okay? So don't worry about going to your doctor and telling him about it. Like my doctor was very understanding, and she was like, "Hey, look, not a problem. Let me do some investigating on it, but for right now, I'm gonna give you this to go ahead and deal with the anxiety attacks, and And then there was the sleeplessness, like the total insomnia. Like I was tired, but I couldn't get more than 1 or 2 hours of sleep a night, and if that. Otherwise, I was, besides that, I was just laying in bed for 6 hours staring at the ceiling. I couldn't work because I was too tired to work, but I couldn't sleep either. So she gave me something for sleeping. Now, one thing I did tell her is that I wanted non-narcotics because I don't need another addiction. Like once I quit smoking, I swore that was going to be the last time I ever had an addiction. Yeah, turned out that not to be the case. All right. So anyway, like I was saying, I just want to describe to people, like, if you should know what you're getting into before you get into it, and if I would have known, I would have definitely kept track of how much I was taking, instead of like taking so much. I know it sounds weird, but things like that happen. I'm human, and humans are very fucking stupid. So I think you should know what you're getting into, before you start doing those high doses. And Kratom is kind of a sliding scale. Now, what you started doing a year ago isn't going to have the same effect on you when you're 2 years later. If you're doing a teaspoon in 2017, that same teaspoon is just going to keep you normal in 2018 or 2019. Now, I'm going to make a couple more videos to kind of walk people through this, because what I'm doing, I'm not quitting cold turkey. I'm not doing that. That's too hard, and I need to get work done, and I can't deal with that type of problem right now. So I'm going to be dosing down, and I'm going to be cutting more videos to show people like how I'm dosing down and what I'm doing. Right now, I'm not doing packed teaspoons. What I mean by that, like, when you're doing Kratom, you get kind of greedy. Like, you want to do packed teaspoons. And that kind of, like, you want to pack it in the teaspoon as much as possible and then go ahead and pour it into a cup or whatever. Me, I was doing shot glasses of Kratom. Like, I'd put some lemon juice in there, mix it up, and shoot it straight down. I wasn't doing the pills or anything like that, the capsules. What I'm doing is loose doses, which is cutting it down maybe 10 grams a day or something like that. So it's not bad, but it's still hard because I'm still feeling the withdrawal symptoms even though I'm doing a Kratom. And that's another thing too. Once you get into the upper echelons of, the 45, 60 grams and you start feeling the withdrawal symptoms, it takes a while for your brain to get back to normal. At least for mine it did. That's why I spent the next couple of days on the couch and, shivering and all this stupid shit. I mean, it was stupid, but it wasn't anything life-threatening. I can tell you that. Like, it was kind of scary at first, and but like I said, it wasn't life-threatening. It was just extremely annoying, and the head games were seriously insane. Like, I mean, because your head starts going in a million different directions, because you're not getting the same endorphins that you had before from naturally or whatever. One thing that did help was working out, like after I got up, like in the morning, do a little workout. I'm not saying like go to the gym. I'm saying like do some push-ups, stuff like that. Fucking jumping jacks. Just get the heart rolling, and get your body like kind of moving a little bit. Now another thing too is the restless leg syndrome. Certain drugs do, like over-the-counter medications, do give me like restless leg syndrome, like sleep medicine and stuff like that. Well, Kratom withdrawals also come with restless leg syndrome. What stops that is Kratom. So that's why I'm saying it's better to dose down. And I mean, if you feel like you want to quit cold turkey and you can take it and your job isn't going to be affected by it, go for it, dude. I have no problems with that. Like, it's going to take you about 30 days to do it. And then afterwards, you're still going to have cravings afterwards. Everything I've read and heard about that, about like heavy users, it's like that. But so I guess this is one of many videos of me dosing down on Kratom. I honestly, I don't think I'm going to quit because it does help my ADD. And I did order Kratom stems. And what Kratom stems are is it reduces your tolerance to Kratom. So that same dose that you started doing a year ago is going to have the same effect 3-4 years down the line. Now, I don't know if that's true because I couldn't find anything online about I couldn't find any videos of people like reviewing it and saying that it worked or anything like that. So, I'll be the first. I guess. I mean, unless somebody knows there's, somebody out there that actually tried it. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna bring this to an end because I seem to be rambling a little bit. But be careful with the things you do. When I started doing Kratom, like it was pretty new to the scene, and there wasn't a ton of research on it. But from what I read, it seemed like a safe thing to do, and it's not a dangerous thing to do. Not for me, anyway. But those withdrawal symptoms are real, and people aren't lying when they say it's like quitting cigarettes and coffee, well, caffeine, but that's in low doses. Keep that in mind. That's not higher doses. When you do higher doses, the withdrawal effects are going to be way worse than when you're doing the lower doses. So that nicotine crap just goes right out the window. All right. Well, thank you. And I appreciate every goddamn one of you. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.